Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Rohaniatul Maknia. I'm from Manuan Kota Tangerang. You can call me Ani. That is my nickname. In this remarkable occasion, ISOE 2022, I want to share my research entitled Applying a Multimedia Online Module to Increase Students' Achievement in Learning English in a Blended Learning Environment. Let's start with the introduction. As we know that government policy during the post-pandemic is that the government allowing schools to have 50% offline learning situation in school, in the classroom, and then another 50% online. And this is also applied in my school at the time. And this situation create problems. The first problem is the time constraint. So we can imagine that we have to meet half of the students for the first week with the first lesson, or maybe half of the lesson, and then another week with a different group of students. So we are going to meet another group within the next 2 weeks like that. And it is repeated for a certain period of time during the post-pandemic. So you can imagine that it's difficult for teachers to finish even one simple lesson. So this is a problem, all right. And then another problem is that there are quite some available ready-made module. Somehow it is less suitable. Why do I say that? Because I got a feedback from students that they said there are too many confusing activities. Confusing to them, it means that teachers have to be able to explain it, while there are moments for them to be able to be away from the teacher during the the week after they have the offline. Another thing that I found from ready-made module is that there are limited listening practices available, while listening is also an important skill that need to be practiced. And another thing that we can find here also from the ready-made module is multimedia sources are also pretty limited. And multimedia is a very important source that can enrich students with many skills. Among others is the listening are practiced, and then they become technology savvy, among others. This background leads into the research questions. The first one, so how can we apply a multimedia online module to facilitate blended learning? And the second one, how is the increase of students' learning after the application of multimedia online module in blended learning situation? Okay, now the objective of the study is that applying a multimedia online module to increase students' English learning achievement in a blended learning environment. As for the second, the objective is finding out the increase of students' learning achievement after the application of a multimedia online module in blended learning situation. What is significant from the study is that hopefully this study can become one of the best practices that other English teachers with relatively the same problems can apply. And this study can hopefully help grade 11 students of Manuan Kota Tangerang to increase their capability to learn English by integrating technology in their daily life. And this study hopefully can contribute into the increase of quality of English teaching in general. Blended learning, according to Graham, Allen, and it's actually a learning environment that combines face-to-face instruction with technology-mediated instruction. So, the learning processes take place both offline, face-to-face instruction, or we can also call it synchronization, and also online learning processes, that is by applying technology, or we can also call it asynchronization. Graham summarizes the most common reason for having blended learning to be applied in many learning environments, and among others are increasing learning effectiveness, improving convenience and access to learning, and last but not least is augmenting cost effectiveness to learning. Zhang, another expert of language teaching, said that module can allow students to access content and sources. Clearly, we can see that through modules, students can access content and also courses. Not only Zhang that find the use of module Li-Fi as well. And then Li-Fi states that module allows students to learn and do practices on key concepts at their own pace and also time. While in-class processes can be used for more advanced topic and for building on what they have learned. So this is a combination of learning, again, blended learning. Okay, there are some kinds of modules: paper-based, web-based, digital-based, e-learning module, interactive module. This study applies a multimedia online module that is a media for giving students the learning material in the form of multimodal formats such as audio, video, internet-based material, practices, and quiz, which is given online. Which is made using a free online application, namely the Book Creator. Okay. Now, according to Hisao, Mikolaj, and also Shi, they investigated about scaffolding and also giving multimedia online module to increase student-centered learning in a hybrid online learning environment. It shows that the result, most students felt and thought that scaffold and multimedia modules help them to learn the lesson well. Okay. This study applied chemist McTaggart design model, that is action research model, and it is take place in Manwan, Kota Tangerang. The subject are science to students, grade 11, 39 of them. They are heterogeneous in terms of English competence, and field notes are taken from the Google Classroom, and also the quantitative data we take from the test and also from the questionnaire score. And they all is going to be processes to answer the research question. And here are the results. So, how to apply a multimedia online module in a blended learning environment? First of all, we have to prepare the module. They say that preparing is, what do we call that? If we fail to prepare, we are preparing to fail, and that is not something that we want. So first of all, of course, we have to prepare for the module. And the next thing is writing the learning outcome. And this should be in the first page. The learning outcome is supposed to be taken from the curriculum. And in my study, I use 3.8, 4.8, and 3.5, and also 4.5 basic competence in the curriculum. Why do I put it in the first page? Schweigen 2020 states that learning outcome helps to set a shared expectation between teachers and also students. So we need to make the students aware of what is expected of them. Okay. The next step is that they have to watch 2 videos and also answer some questions in order to understand the concept of the explanation text. what's the video is about. This is questions about the topic of the text. And then why do you think people make this video? This is questions about the social function of the explanation text. And then what are some new vocabularies do you learn from the video? These are questions about the linguistic components of the text. And this is taken, of course, from the learning outcome 3.8 in the curriculum. And based on the teacher's observation, more than half of the students can answer those questions correctly. And in the Google Classroom, it is shown that 35 out of 39 students can answer the questions. The second learning activity is that concentrating on the text structure of an explanation text. Students are to watch the video and answer the question about the text structure of the explanation, and then they have to get at least 80 to pass the second learning activity. If not, they may repeat until they get the minimum 80. Now, according to Nur Hasana, low achiever students can develop the metacognitive strategy, keep the mood for learning, and cognitive learning strategy by repeating the lesson as needed. So, based on this step is applied. Okay. And the third learning activity is comprehending two given explanation texts. What we have to do is that students are to read the text and answer some questions about the text in the Google form. The steps for the previous one is also applied. They may repeat, before they reach the minimum score. As for the fourth learning activity, they produce an explanation text. They write per part. So firstly, they write an introductory paragraph, and then they write the body paragraph, and then the concluding paragraph. And based on feedbacks, they need to revise their writing. In the second cycle, pretty much the same, the steps. We have to prepare the module, and then we are preparing learning activities until 4 steps. Yeah, and then this is the result that we get from the students. In the first chart, we ask, does the module explanation text help you learn the lesson better? Gladly, 83.9% said yes, and only 16.1% said maybe. So nobody responded no. In the second cycle, the module passive voice also helped them to learn better, and 97% said yes, that it helped them, and only few responded maybe. So a further question also asked, how does the module help you learn better? And the answer is that the explanation, the videos, the example, the assignment, and also the answers in the module help them learn the lesson better. The next question is, how is the increase of learning after the application of multimedia online module in blended learning situation? The result shows that here, in the graph, we have the high score is 40, and it's quite a lot there. It's more than half of them, even about 75%. It's clearly displayed that majority of scores are above 75, that is the KKM. And this also occurred in the first cycle. So we come to the conclusion that applying a multimedia online module learning can actually increase students' learning achievement and facilitate them to learn English lesson in a blended learning environment. The multimedia online module also helps them learn while they are not with the teacher. As for the face-to-face session, it provides the teacher factor to give more explanation and clarification to the process they have undergone without the teacher. And the next thing that we can add as the conclusion is that the multimedia online module also enable them to explore various useful learning resources from various different sources in various formats at their own pace and time. And as for the recommendation, it is highly recommended that teachers apply multimedia online learning to be applied in a blended learning environment. And these are the bibliography that I use for my research. And thank you very much, everyone. That's all. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.